Welcome to Successfully. Today it's with me, JP Morgan, and we're here in LA today, and I have JP to share with me and with the successful community his entrepreneurial story. Thank you, JP. So nice to have you with me today.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming over.
So before I introduce you, I want to share with everybody why I wanted to invite you to be with us today, because as we've spoken in the past, you help a lot of people. You're a life coach, you're a mentor, you're a public speaker, you presented in TED Talks, and you have clients from all over the world. You travel all over the world, and you have many successful business as in technology and investors, I believe, investing. And but you also help people deal with challenges about whether it's for their careers or it's for family issues or just like in general, and you also help them live life more meaningful and with a purpose. So I'm very excited to have you here because you have created such an impact in the community, but also for me, I want to share that when we first met, you created some impact for me as I was in my early stages as an entrepreneur, and you helped create this shift thinking how to be more positive and how to pursue my dreams. So thank you for being
You're
here.
very welcome. Thank you for emailing me and asking to meet for coffee.
Yeah, well, thank you for responding. So now we are like a year and a half fast forward, and here we are now talking about Successful and talking about
It's
your
exciting.
success. So tell us, like, I know a lot of people know your services and what you do, how you help people, but how did it all started? How did you become an entrepreneur? What was it that, how is it that you decided to become an entrepreneur?
How did I become an entrepreneur? I don't know. I got to think about that because I've always been one since I was a kid. I mean, lemonade stand as a little kid, but then I think I just stayed interested in the idea that money is something that I could create instead of go get a job for. And when I was in, I had jobs when I was in high school, but I think my dad was an entrepreneur, or became one kind of partway through my childhood, so that probably excited me as well. And I just saw opportunities to help people, and then I started asking for money. Like when I first started, it was computer tech support when I was in college. Like everybody knew that I knew computers, and so they'd ask me for help. And at some point, I just started saying, "Yeah, sure. How about you pay me?" And then once that started, it was like, "Wow, that was pretty fun. I like doing it. And I'm getting paid." And so I think that beneath that, though, is a kind of always following the thread of what was fun and exciting for me. Making money through entrepreneurship was just one of those things. But I've never given up on that idea that I can have whatever I want. I can create whatever I want. That's your dog sneezing.
Yeah. Come on, Joey. Should he be in the camera? Yeah. Come here. He likes to be in my lap. Come here, Joey. Joey. Come here. Listen up. I want you to be in the camera. Come here. Yeah, good. So he's there. Because he's like, this is a new house. Let me explore. Yeah. So he's like quiet now. So that's my baby. Yeah, so that's...
But the way he is, exploring the house, somewhere new, that's the way I've always been since I was a kid. And just like exploration has kind of been my orientation. I spent 3 years traveling the world, living nomadically, exploring new industries. Like I've started and grown businesses in 3 totally different industries over the past, I guess, 20 years since I've been an adult. I'm turning 40 this year. Never giving up on that idea. That's what I was saying when you sneezed. Never giving up on that idea that I can create anything that I want. Anything that I can imagine, I can bring into reality.
And that's part where you work, create a circle. You help people create a path for themselves to be explorers. Can you tell more about that?
Yeah. So Creator Circle is just the name of my group coaching. So, but whether it's in my private coaching or my group coaching, my orientation is around helping people to connect with their power as a creator, to be able to create everything and anything that they want, be it an experience of life, being peaceful or happy or joyous, or be it a beautiful relationship with a partner, or finding and creating that partner that doesn't exist at that point, to creating a successful business, creating a political position, creating success as an artist, whatever that you want, inform or experience. I know and believe that you can create it. And the way that I help people to do that is to be able to see that to be able to see the path, to see how it's possible to wake up in the morning feeling optimistic about it. And, I share insights that I've had through my journey of doing that, but I also create insights with people. And, from working with me, like sometimes in a conversation either that we've been in or that somebody else and I are in, we dialogue and a new way of seeing gets created. And that new way of seeing gives us a choice we didn't have before. And with that choice, we're able to act and create something new that we couldn't create before. And so I'm passionate about dialogue as a means of creating insight, which gives me the access to new action and new creations. So.
And that's one of the things that have been fascinating to me, because I experienced that with you, is that when we start working, I have this idea, this is what we're going to address. And then we discover these other areas that I haven't either confronted or realized that they were present and that I needed to deal with. And it's like, oh, now we have this, and we come up with, like, here's now something new to explore.
Right. It's always the case, It's like, I was just speaking with a woman earlier who's working for an organization that she founded that's in partnership with the UN about developing countries around the world. And she wanted to talk to me about her fundraising challenges, and all of the conversation that she thought we were going to be in is about her strategy and where to find the people and these things and what the pitch is. And I kept bringing her back to this little idea that she holds inside her about that nobody wants to give money to this because it's different. And while it may be the case, to try to find people that would be up for it is buying into this external thing as a problem, instead of being like, wait a minute, I'm carrying this idea that nobody wants to donate to my organization. That's the thing to change. But it's not always obvious to people, and people aren't used to going there habitually. They don't want to, but then it's also not comfortable. It's not comfortable to look at myself. Like, what do you mean I'm the reason for the problem? No, I'm successful, I'm doing things well. Yeah, I know, but there's always more leverage when we're willing to look in to see where are we actually the obstacle. And so, I think that we are the highest leverage point for change in our life. And if you're doing your own business as a sole proprietor, starting off your new company, whether it's small business or you're running a multinational organization, even in that organization, the highest point for change is not just in the leader, but in the neural network of that leader. Like, how are they thinking? How are they feeling about things? Because that influences their actions, which influences the culture, which influences performance, globally.
And that's something I noticed that when you and I started first working, the first time I approached you, I was like sinking in questions. I had all these like obstacles and things that I was stuck. I was feeling in limbo. I was like, how do I get out? And that's when I reached out for help. And you were like, well, have you thought about this and maybe this? And you gave me all those options that I hadn't confronted. I haven't. And it was like a light bulb. I was like, oh, no, I haven't.
That's a common response. Oh, wait a minute.
And it does work. Like for me, it created this effect where I have to take a look at myself. Like I'm the common denominator, and So I can testify that this really works, and it's been, for me, it's been tremendous help.
Great. I'm so glad.
Well, and so this is why I wanted to also have you in Successfully, because there's a lot of people that want to be, either they want to become a life coach, or they want to mentor, or they need help, or they have a business or a corporation, something, so they could always benefit. So how do you see yourself that you could be helping the community successfully?
I mean, there's so many ways, I guess. Like, one of the primary ways that I help most people is to just share the ideas that I have with them. And I do that through publishing stuff online. And I've got on my YouTube channel over 300 videos. They're like little, I say it's like my pharmacy. It's like every video is like a few minutes, and it's a single distinction, a single insight that I can prescribe. It's like somebody's stuck with this, and it's like, I feel so overwhelmed with all the stuff I have to do. Well, watch this video. And this video is about stop turning your want tos into have tos, because people want to do something and make a to-do list and they feel like they have to do it. It's like, oh, wow. If you just stay in the wanting, there's a little more freedom in it. And so you can watch these videos, you can scroll through the titles and find ones that looks like that's what I need right now, and just paste it, try it, and see if it helps. And they will. I write articles and things you can find on my website through my social media feeds. So that's the way I help most people. But then on a more personal level, the way that I can help is to be in conversation with me. And sometimes what that looks like is a one-to-one conversation privately with somebody about their life and their business or their artistry or whatever it is that they're creating. Other times what that looks like is a one-to-one conversation in a small group setting. And that's, you mentioned my creator circle. So I work with people for a year or more because we go on quite a journey together. But that would be a format where I'm having one-to-one dialogue, but in the group setting. So people are taking turns, and it's a way to share the cost and also be part of a group energy around this idea of being a creator. Then other times what I do sometimes is I give keynote talks or workshops for bigger organizations that want to pay and have me come in to speak with or speak to their people. I'm doing a small coaching day for a sales team for a wine company next month in San Diego, and they're just having me come in just to really pose questions and to coach the sales team all at once. Mm-hmm. Because the thing is, when you coach in a group environment, especially when people have a common thing that they're working on, like everybody's selling wine, my conversation with one person will serve the whole group. Mm-hmm. As I start to help them see how they can create a better relationship with their distributors and a better relationship with their family at home despite traveling so much, and how those two things overlap, everybody in the team is going to get it, and everybody's going to get something from it. So it's a great way to kind of create more value out of a single conversation to do it in a group setting.
Yeah, everybody benefits because they all might have the same question, and yeah, so
exactly. Even if they don't realize they have the question, they probably do.
You'd be like, oh yeah, this would be useful for me too.
Exactly. Yeah.
What would you recommend someone that is just starting as an entrepreneur?
As an entrepreneur in general, everybody says this kind of stuff, and it could sound cliche, but it's like the most important thing I've had in every business I've been in. Just don't stop. You know, that everybody that I've seen that's failed has stopped. That's the only way you know you failed. If you didn't stop, then it wouldn't be a failure. It would just be a learning or a stumbling block. Failure is the result of stopping and nothing more. Mm-hmm. You know, if you look, even if a business fails, it's like, well, I didn't fail. That I'm pivoting. I'm pivoting from this format to a new format, or from this industry to that industry. It's like, so when I left my web media company, and now I do what I do now with this work, and I didn't fail. I didn't do that anymore. I kind of let it fizzle out. I gave away clients, but it didn't fail. I just pivoted. Mm-hmm. And so even if somebody's like trying to do something and the product's not selling, it's not failing unless you stop. And so if you want to succeed, whatever succeeding looks like to you, then the best thing that you can do is to not stop, to just keep going and be flexible and agile, and look at every thing that's not working out as an opportunity to pivot and to adapt and to adjust. I don't have any failures in my history. That's not because things haven't worked out. It's because I just don't think about it that way. And I think it's the moment we start to think that we have the risk of failing is the moment we start to invite it into our life. Mm-hmm. Because it's a way of representing reality,
And you're growing in that process. There's so much development in the process. Absolutely, and the confidence, and you're still achieving things. You might just shift direction, like you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, to be an entrepreneur is a decision about the way you want to live your life. And if you bring with that the baggage of I could fail, then you're not really all in, and you're not experiencing the full bliss of it. It's like it's saying that being this person is more important to me than whether or not this one thing works out. Mm-hmm. I'm all in with being an entrepreneur. I don't care what happens out there.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And that's the spirit of entrepreneurs. You're following a passion, and that's your way of living.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's why I'm super excited to have you part of the community, because just like that, positive effect you create on me, I notice a lot of people that will, and that they will benefit from working with you. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I look forward to meeting everybody.
No, thank you. When you want to work with JP, you can find more information on successfuly.com. Thank you.
See ya.